Okay, ready to unlock some ancient secrets for modern wellness. Let's dive into the fascinating world of functional and medicinal mushrooms. We're not talking about the button mushrooms on your plate, but the kind of mushrooms popping up in everything from coffee to supplements these days.
Yeah, it's really cool how these mushrooms bridge like ancient traditions and modern science. People are rediscovering their potential and the research is backing it up, which is exciting.
Totally. Like lion's mane, right? It's got over 1,000 years of history, especially in traditional Chinese medicine. They used it for memory and focus. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and get this, modern research is actually validating some of that. Lion's mane seems to support neuroplasticity, basically, your brain's ability to make new connections.
So instead of just chugging coffee, lion's mane is more like a long-term investment in your brain.
Exactly. Studies show it has these compounds, hericenones and arenosines, that might actually help nerve cells grow and even repair brain tissue. Imagine learning faster or even recovering from a stroke, potentially.
Wow, that's incredible. But I've heard people saying lion's mane is good for memory and focus. But it's not some magic solution, is it?
You're totally right. It's all about balance. Think of it like giving your brain the nutrition it needs to function at its best. It's a long game, not a quick fix.
Makes sense. So like nourishing your brain from the inside out. Okay, we've talked brain power with lion's mane, but let's switch gears to another superstar, reishi. This one's called the mushroom of immortality. How cool is that? What's the story there?
That name really shows how much reishi has been revered in traditional medicine, especially for its adaptogenic properties, which are incredible.
Okay, adaptogens. I hear that word everywhere now. What does it even mean? What makes them special?
So picture this. Your body's dealing with stress, right? It could be work, traffic, whatever. Adaptogens, like reishi, basically bring your body back into balance, help it adapt to the stress better, whether you're freaking out or just exhausted.
So reishi, it's like it knows what your body needs and just responds. You're stressed, it calms you down, but if you're tired, it gives you energy.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is how it works with our HPA axis, the system that controls our stress response. Reishi basically helps it find balance, even when things are tough.
Okay, I get the mushroom of immortality thing now. It's not about erasing stress, but like giving our bodies the tools to handle it better, which I think we could all use some days, right? Imagine being totally swamped at work and having reishi there, helping you cope. It'd be a game changer.
Absolutely. And research even suggests it can help us sleep better, boost our immune system, and even help with anxiety. Pretty amazing for a mushroom, right?
Totally. We've covered brain power with lion's mane, stress with reishi. But there's this other mushroom popping up everywhere these days, especially in those fancy coffee blends. Chaga. What's the deal with that one?
Chaga. Oh, that's like the antioxidant king of the mushroom world. Packed with compounds that fight oxidative stress and inflammation, which are linked to, well, a lot of chronic diseases and aging.
So it's not just about adding a cool earthy taste to your latte. Chaga's like secretly protecting your cells while you sip. Tell me more.
Think of chaga as a shield for your cells. See, free radicals, those unstable molecules, they can damage DNA and cause inflammation. Chaga swoops in with antioxidants like polyphenols and melanin, neutralizes those free radicals, and bamless inflammation.
It's like nature's detox, right?
Yeah.
Fighting off all the junk we're exposed to every day. And to think this power comes from a humble mushroom. Makes you appreciate nature, huh?
It really does. It makes you appreciate it. And research suggests that all this antioxidant power in chaga could even be good for healthy aging in your immune system.
Wow. So we've gone from brain power with lion's mane to stress with reishi, and now this powerhouse chaga. But we're not done yet, are we? We have to talk about psilocybin now, which is a whole other world.
Right. We're shifting gears now from like your everyday functional mushrooms into something, well, more complex. We're talking psychedelics now.
Exactly. Psilocybin mushrooms are magic mushrooms. They're not like lion's mane or reishi. We're talking about a whole different experience, one that can really change how you see things, how you feel things.
And that's why it's not something to take lightly at all. If you're going to explore psilocybin, it should be done carefully, ideally with a professional.
Absolutely. This isn't about just experimenting for fun. And there's been so much talk about how psilocybin could be helpful for mental health, but there's also the legal side of things, which is a whole other story, right?
You're right. It's a bit of a maze out there. Some places are decriminalizing it, some cities, some regions. But in many places, it's still illegal. And even where it's allowed, it's usually in very specific situations, like controlled settings for therapy.
So it's not like you can just walk into a store and buy it. It's definitely something where you have to be careful, be aware of the laws wherever you are, and really seek out the right guidance.
Exactly. And there's also this whole concept of microdosing that's becoming more popular. It's basically taking a tiny, tiny amount of psilocybin, so small that you don't have those intense psychedelic effects.
So instead of a full-blown trip, microdosing is more about those subtle effects.
Exactly. People say they feel more creative, focused, maybe more emotionally balanced, like a little mood boost or just feeling more present. But research on this is still new. We need more studies to really understand it all.
And even though it's a small amount, microdosing still has risks and legal stuff to consider, right?
Right. It's not something to jump into without knowing what you're doing, basically. Be informed about the risks and the laws in your area.
So we've talked about these amazing mushrooms that can help our brains, help us with stress, even potentially protect us from damage. But psilocybin is different. Functional mushrooms like lion's mane, reishi, chaga, those are things we can explore and maybe add to our routines with some research and good guidance.
But psilocybin, with its psychedelic effects, well, that needs a much more cautious and informed approach, right?
It's for those who are ready for a deeper dive, ready to face those complexities and really understand what they're getting into.
Exactly. And it's always a good idea, even with the functional mushrooms, to talk to a healthcare professional. Make sure they're right for you and you're using them safely.
That's good advice for anything, really. So we've learned so much about this incredible world of fungi, from those everyday helpers to the ones that can really take you on a journey. Approach each one with curiosity, but also with respect, right?
Yeah.
There's so much potential here, whether you're looking for better health, better ways to handle stress, or just a deeper connection with nature.
It's all about exploration, learning from ancient wisdom, and seeing what modern science is discovering. It's amazing, really, to think that these little mushrooms might hold so many answers.
I love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive, take a moment to think about what you've learned today. What piques your interest? What could be a part of your own wellness journey?
It's a journey worth taking. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and who knows? You might discover an amazing connection with the world of fungi that you never expected.
Beautifully said. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone. It really makes you wonder, what else is out there?
Oh, totally. We've just scratched the surface with these mushrooms. There's so much research happening right now with functional mushrooms, even psilocybin in therapy. It's incredible.
It really is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, huh? These little mushrooms, we might walk right by them and not realize,
Yeah.
but they could hold so much potential for so many people.
It really shows you the power of nature, I think. These ancient remedies, people have known about them for centuries, and now science is catching up. It's pretty amazing.
They're like the best of both worlds, right?
Ah.
Ancient wisdom meeting modern science. And yeah, maybe mushrooms are a big part of a healthier future. Who knows?
It's an exciting thought for sure, and definitely something we need to keep exploring.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of mushrooms. I don't know about you, but my mind is blown.
Me too. So much to think about.
Definitely. So, for everyone listening, whether you're curious about lion's mane for that brain boost, or reishi for a little more calm in your life, or maybe chaga caught your attention, there's a whole world of functional mushrooms out there to explore.
That's right. And don't be afraid to do your research. Find what resonates with you. It's a journey, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. And remember, keep learning, keep those questions coming, and you never know what you might discover. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone.